So first off, I want to say thanks for tuning in the channel. It's been a while since I made one of these videos. I want to kind of update my guides. There's been a lot of changes to OBS. As you can see, we're in version 23.0.2. This video is being made on April 2nd, 2019. And the previous video that I made in 2017, there's been a lot of changes to OBS, especially within the audio interfaces and the audio settings that they've done in OBS. It's been huge improvements to it, and it makes improving your microphone, tweaking your microphone, making it sound really good, really easy within OBS. You don't have to use a lot of third-party tools like I've showed previously. Those are all gone. Everything's done within OBS now, so it really keeps a lot of the software, a lot of programming right within OBS, which is awesome. Which makes streaming or recording, like I'm broadcasting or recording this right from OBS, and uploading it straight to YouTube with no edits. We're doing it straight live and then uploading it straight to YouTube, so you can see how it's done. So we're gonna get right into it. One of the things I want to talk about, obviously, is microphones themselves. If you have a poor quality microphone, you're using an interface, or you're not using an interface, you're plugging it directly into the motherboard and you're getting noise, the microphone off your headset's bad, those things right from the start, as soon as that noise, that microphone starts, that signal noise is going to be hard to remove. You can remove some of it, you can remove a lot of it, but understand that all of it is never going to be removed. So there's little things that you have to do, tweaks and tricks that you're going to have to do to try and filter that noise out, or push it out of the signal, or try and do different things to clean up that noise, or like blend it away. And that's one of the things that we're doing right now in this video that maybe you don't understand or you don't hear. That's because we're doing certain things to remove that noise that's in the background to make it sound better. One of the things that we're doing right here is running a music player. We're running a little bit of music in the background. Obviously not to the point where it's too loud. You want to make sure that it's not to the point where it's distracting, but enough to fill the void, right? So if you're just doing a lot of quiet gaming or a lot of speaking, just chatting, playing the background music will help remove that noise from that microphone. Also, it's a little bit appealing, so if there are a lot of pauses in your speaking, or you're taking off or doing something, that dead air isn't there, and it's not attractive to have straight dead air. The program I'm using is called Pretzel. I'll put a link to that in the description for you guys to go check out. It's a free program. You can also spend support them. I think it's $5 a month. You can support them. The software is built phenomenal. It's all royalty-free music that comes on here. You can click what you want YouTube save. It'll make sure that all those musics are correctly. There's keybinds you can set up for shifting music, increasing volume. But what you get out of this software, it's really good, and it works well. So what we're gonna do here is actually, I'm gonna mute this for now, just for the time being, so you can kind of see what's going on with the audio. And what we're gonna do is get right into the audio stuff. So I hope you know how to set up your microphone. If you don't, obviously you're gonna go into here, go to Audio tab. You're gonna click your microphone in this signal chain, which for mine's just default. We just let it be on default. It'd be the Rode AI1, which is my interface, but it's already self-selected to that. We see it working. It's responding. The peak meter is moving back and forth. What we want. We can see what we're looking for. So what we want for most part, just to give you a quick understanding of audio levels, is I've got this set up. So this is desktop. This is my desktop audio. If I ever want to listen to my desktop or stream on desktop, so I'm watching a stream, watching YouTube, I can turn this on and listen to it. This is my game. This is my microphone. This is my music. So it's all separated. I'm doing this with Voice Peanut Banana. That's for another video. I'm not going to explain how to use that stuff. It's quite complex. I don't want to try to make this video like 3 hours long, trying to explain all the little tweaks in the audio signal stuff. But understand that there's 3 chains coming in here. This is my game. This is my microphone. This is my music. So understand this green area is the playable area for music. Microphone area, playable area is going to be in the yellow or orange, whatever it looks like to you in the stream or the recording. And then game audio, same thing. Anything in green is going to be playable. for game audio. So this is going to allow me to keep my voice within the limits of always being louder than the game, louder than the music. So I'm always going to be able to be heard within the stream, which is important. But again, this is more about removing background noise and making your mic sound good. So let's get into it. So we're going to click the cogwheel, click filters. We can see right here I have nothing on. This is just raw mic. And like I said, we can hear how the mic sounds straight up. And then we're going to put some stuff on and you're going to hear the difference. So first off, what we can obviously hear is a lot of noise coming from my TV, which is on the background because I don't have a really quiet environment. Obviously, if you can quiet the environment down, you may or may not need to have some noise suppression on. But if the noise is a little bit dirty, or the microphone noise is a little bit dirty, you might need to turn this on. So what I've done is this is just default 30. So you go right for the drop down box and click noise suppression and turn this on. So you turn it on, we can hear a drastic improvement in the sound. This level, depending on your microphone, you may need to have it at 5, 2, 60. That's to be for you to decide where you need to slide the slider around. Start it off with default, see where it sits. I find my microphone to be, from where my position is in speaking, a little bit quiet by default because I find I'm sitting around the 20 point, minus 20 dB for the most part when I'm speaking. So what I've done is I've boosted the signal a little bit just to kind of give it a little bit extra over everything else, because I've got a limiter on my music and on my game at 20 caps. I can't go any louder than that. So I find that if I speak at a normal volume, that it will never allow this never allow my game or music to be louder than me, so I can always be heard. So there's no mumbling, no gibberish, no distortion between the two, because everything's at the same volume. You can't make out what's going on, right? So you always want to be louder than your game. So I've also done is I've turned a limiter on. This limiter is built within OBS. This is new to OBS. I think it came out with 23.0.2 or 0.1, or the 23 version right at the start. The limiter is new. What we've got here is a limiter, and I put it at 10. So at minus 10 dB, I know anything over that, it's going to just chop the signal right off. So if I happen to yell or scream or be really loud or knock the microphone over or hit it, that signal would be cut. And I know anything in the red is what's considered clipping or peaking. Anything in this red is going to be basically distortion, and that's going to be unpleasant to the ear, to the listener. So we don't want that. So we want to stay within this yellow or orange bar. So I've set a limiter to make sure that I never go past that point. The next thing I've got, which I will put a link in the description of this, which is a Bts plugin. This plugin is an EQ, so I can EQ my voice to make it sound a certain way. So we'll turn the EQ on now. Excuse me. So in this EQ, what I've got set up is a 4-band EQ. If you're not familiar with EQs, I can kind of give you a quick crash course on them. So here's my basic settings for my EQ. This would be different for you depending on your voice, on your volume, your pitch, how you speak. Is all going to be different. This is all personal preference. So it's going to be your ear. This is where all, like, audio engineers come into place. They have a good ear for hearing stuff like this, and know where to EQ your voice to make it sound the best. With music and stuff like that, same thing with spoken word. They know where to tweak the mic to make it sound a certain way. If you're looking for a certain look, they know how to set that up so you get that sound that you're looking for. So what I've done for the number 1, which is this one here, is I've got a low pass on it, so I know it starts swooping off. And we know that everything under 20K and anything over 20,000K, the human ear can't hear that. So that's what we see the dotted line for. We know this is dead air. This is nothing that can be heard, so we don't want to hear any sounds past this point. So we've done it as a low pass filter, so it swoops off of here slowly. We can even, like, you can bring this down, bring it up. So we don't want any noise basically after about 50 hertz below. It's just to be complete static. Like, my voice don't go that low, so there's no point in bringing that into the signal. It's just to be noise. What I've also done for number 2 is I bring up right around the 100 hertz mark, is I brought the peak up a little bit. So it kind of peaks up. So 0, this is 0. Anything over this is going to be a boost. Anything below this is going to be a cut. So I'm bringing it up to about 6 plus 6. And then I know at 2K for my voice, it's a little kind of muddy. So right around there, again, playing with this as I put a drop down in here to kind of cut that out a little bit to make it sound a little more crisp. And then I know I speak a little bit on the low side. So for me, I needed to bring the highs back up. So right around 10K as I got a swooping curve back up at 10K. And then right away it starts dropping it back off. So it tries to swoop off at about 18,000K. That's where I can't hear the sound of my voice anymore. And 20,000K starts swooping it back off and getting it out of the signal. And I find that's what works best for my voice. That's my personal settings that I like right now. It may not be appealing to you. I thought it sounded good. And like I said, that's something that you're going to have to play with to make it sound good for your voice and how you like it. And if you're happy with it, I'm sure other people will be as too. And then, of course, the last thing, and probably the most crucial thing to set up in this whole chain, is going to be the noise gate. We know that the noise gate works a certain way, and we understand how the noise gate works. So if you understand how the noise gate works, you can actually set it up correctly. So if we understand that closed threshold is basically to cut the sound off, open threshold is speaking volume, attack time is attack time on the closed threshold, hold time is how long it's going to hold it closed for, release time is how fast it's going to open it back up. So what I've done is I put it on 50, 1050, so I want to turn on really, really fast. When I'm not speaking, I want to hold for a really long time. And as soon as I start speaking, I want it to turn back on almost instantly. So what I've done is I've actually been quiet in my room, and I know that right around 40, like 8, 49, something like that, we can try to be quiet here for a second. So sometimes when my TV is loud, it's peaking at 45. Some of my mouth movements and breathing is like around 48, somewhere around there. So we know that around there, that's where I move my mouth a lot. There's some background noise from the television. So anything under 48, automatically fire the attack time on and put the hold time on. So close the microphone off. And I know speaking, anything at like 38 and over is where I'm generally speaking quite clearly and loud. That's where I'm speaking properly. And anything past that point is fully legible. So we want to know so I set at 38, turn the microphone back on and keep it on. So anything between 48 and 38 is dead air, and it'll keep the whole time on. So we'll turn the noise gate on, and you can kind of hear it. And like for some people that have noise gates on, and you hear their streams, you should not be able to tell their noise gate is on. So we'll turn it on. So you can see that the microphone drops right off to 0. When I'm not speaking, I'm quiet in my room. Anything under that 48, minus 48 dB, we know it's not being registered, and it's cutting the microphone off, and it's turning it on fast. So this is something you have to play with for your personal preference again. But the idea of the noise gate is you do not want to notice it's there. You want to see it working. You want to see this peak bar going right down to 0 and staying there when you're not speaking. But as soon as you start speaking, and if you listen to the recording, 0 point of your voice is being cut off. You don't want to hear you don't want to hear any of that stuff when you're speaking. You don't want to hear and then you start talking quiet and your voice being cut off, or as you're sounding off the last word or breathing the last word off, or the last syllable of the word that's being cut off. You don't want any of that. So you want to make sure that you listen to the recording and make sure that that point of it is being heard clearly. You want to make sure that the sounds when you do start speaking aren't being cut short, so it doesn't sound unnatural. Because again, that'll be appealing to you. It'll be appealing to other people, It's not going to sound professional. You don't want that. So this is what I have set up, and we can go back and turn the music on, and we can understand that this is how we set up the chain. Like I said, I'll put a link to the description to the VTS plugin. This is the only thing that's been added on the chain here. This is quite simple. You just follow the directions on how to install TDR Nova. It's pretty straightforward. There's other things within TDR Nova that you can get. You can get de-essers, you can get EQs, you can get other EQs. There's other VTS plugins. The sky's the limit on them. You can buy VTS plugins if you want. They're for what's called DAWs, digital audio recording workstations. But they've also been set up with an OBS. They've enabled VTS plugins with an OBS, so you can, sky's the limit. You can do EQing, you can do voice changers. There's tons of things you can do with them. So you can set, I think you can even set up filters and turn the filters on and off through hotkeys and stuff. So I haven't gotten into that kind of stuff. I'm not really, don't care to have that in my stream. So, but I'm pretty sure there's options to even actually hotkey the filters, so you can do voice changes with right inside OBS. That's pretty much the gist of it. Just understand that there's different microphones for different businesses. These microphones are going to be set up for really quiet rooms. They're really good. They're really sensitive. They work really well, right? They're very expensive, but they got to be set up in a certain environment. So if you have a really quiet room, you want to have a broadcasting deep kind of voice. You speak close to the microphone. You're very precise when you speak. These microphones are amazing. If you have a noisy environment, you want a little more forgiveness, you want to look at something that's a dynamic microphone. And if you can't afford it, this is going to be the best microphone in the biz, right? Hands down, this is the best microphone for broadcasting. This is the best microphone for podcasting. This is going to be the best microphone for streams. This is the reason why Shroud uses it and most of the guys use it. Do understand if you get a Shure SM7B, you're going to need something like a cloud lifter. Don't get the cheap versions. They sound like shit. They're not going to work. I'd recommend, if you're spending $500 on this microphone, spend the $200 and get the cloud lifter. Don't get a cheap version. There's a reason why these are $200, right? They work. People that use them swear by them. And then we're not talking about Shroud and all these guys. We're talking about professional engineers, and professional people that are in the business doing broadcasting. These are the interfaces and equipment that they use. They use this stuff, right? Like I said, and then get a really good clean audio interface. You want something clean and decent, you can get the Rode AI1. It's $160. It's got one of the quietest preamps in the business for personal recording. You can go crazy and buy mixers and do a lot of stuff and have voice changers. That's up to you. If you want to spend that money, that's all fine and dandy. And if you are going to spend that kind of money, I would probably look at the... Oh. It's called the Go XLR. Can't seem to find it right now. Let's see. If you want to go all out and get a voice processor and a voice changer, if we'll bring it up here. There you go. I just don't know how to type. So if you want to go all out, you want something that's stream ready, dual stream, do all the crazy stuff. This is $560, but it's an audio interface that has all the bells and whistles. You know, it has the voice changers, it has a sampler, has a mute button, has a swear button, has powered sliders, has multiple interfaces for broadcasting. This is the cream of the crop for streaming right now. Anybody that's used this stuff says it's one of the best. Again, this is a single mic in, mic out. This is built for you broadcasting. It's not built for podcasting. It's not meant for multiple interfaces. It's specially designed to be dealing with your interface with your computer with the proper audio interfaces. So it doesn't have like 1/4 inch inputs. It has 3.5 millimeter inputs. So it's the same thing that comes out of your computer, so it's specially designed for that. It's designed to have an input for your gaming console. So it's designed around PC and console gaming. It's not designed for a personal recording studio, so understand that. So people that maybe don't understand that, maybe you're bashing the interface because it doesn't have all the professional inputs and outputs. It's not designed for that, right? This is a specially designed interface for streamers, for gamers, for broadcasters that are playing video games. People that want to do dual streams, don't want the complications of it. There's a lot of issues with dual streaming, but like, as I understand, these interfaces are here for people that want to spend the money. And if you got something like this, alright, sure, maybe a cloud lifter, and the TC Helicon Go XLR, you know, you're gonna be set for audio. You can do all the stuff you want to do in the interface. It's gonna be great. But if you don't have that kind of money, and you need to buy something cheap, or you don't even have a microphone, you just use your headset microphone, you know, these things are going to work as well. These filters can work even in that interface. So I hope that helped somebody fix their problems. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or input to make the video better, or you have any questions about the video or about the interfaces I showed here, leave a comment in the description. I'll try and answer every single question. And hope you guys have a great day. Till next time.